Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another Minnesota Twins discussion video. Today is the last day off of the regular season. How about that? So we're going to be going through a little bit of playoff information that I would like to give my opinion on. We're going to be talking specifically in this video about all the position players who I believe will make the 25-man roster for the playoffs and where they're going to bat, where they're going to play. So we're going to go through that right now. I am not 100% on the rules for the playoffs because of injuries. So I know that A-Ray Andrianza and Byron Buxton were hurt, but they were on the 25-man roster. So does that mean we get to take two guys that were September call-ups and put them into the roster? That's what I'm not quite sure of. I'm going to go along this video saying, yes, that is how it works. But if I'm wrong, just want to put that out there. So let's start with the catcher. So there's a couple of questions that we have to ask ourselves first is, well, one, are our guys going to be healthy? Because like Crone has been hurt, Kepler has been hurt. What are we going to do with them? And two, do we want to roll with an 11-man rotation or 11-man player position guys, 12, 13, and have 4 bench players? What are we going to do? So I think we could roll with a 12-man position player ballot, and then run with a 13 pitchers staff. I think that would be the best situation for the Twins, considering their starting pitching isn't that great and their bullpen has been on fire. So that's of course for next video, which means we can pick 12 guys out of the players and see who is gonna make the cut. We have 3 catchers. That's a big problem, right? Garver, Castro, and Astudillo. Now, do we need all 3 of them? Because that's 2 bench players already that we'd have to cut. And I don't think we do that. One of them is gonna get the boot. And it's not gonna be Garver, because Garver has hit 30 home runs and is probably our best catcher right now. Castro started the season hot. He's been playing a lot more. I think he probably makes the cut, and that means Astudillo, he is out the door for the playoffs. I just don't think he's a guy that we need for the roster, especially considering we have a guy like Luis Arraez, who is a left-handed batter and basically the same thing as Astudillo. Not saying that Astudillo's bad, but Luis Arraez, he doesn't strike out a lot, takes some walks when he can. He's a very good hitter. It kind of takes away from Astudillo, right? So if Astudillo's out, we got matchups, right? Because Garver's a righty, Castro is a lefty. That makes a lot of sense. And especially if we're playing the Yankees, I don't think they have a left-handed starting pitcher. Do they? Paxton? Is he hurt? Is Happ a lefty? I don't freaking know. But the point is that we have 2 catchers, both sides that we can platoon, and we have 1 for the bench just in case. So I think both of them make the cut. That's going to be our starting catcher and, of course, 1 of our 3 our bench players. Now let's work around the infield. This is the infield I would like to see, specifically against a right-handed pitcher in the Yankees. I would like to see Marwin Gonzalez at first base, Luis Arraez at second, Polanco at short, and Sano at third. Now, we know that Luis Arraez can play the outfield, kind of, and Gonzalez can play right field decently as well. So there are options here for our, I wouldn't say depleted outfield, but we've been injured a little bit in the outfield, so we've had to move guys all around. So I definitely think that this is a good idea for a right-handed starting pitcher, because then in the outfield we can put Jake Cave. But if it is a lefty starting pitcher, or if CJ Crone is just healthy, I guess that would be a really big thing. CJ Crone could take first, then Arraez at second, Polanco at short, and Sano at third, because then in the outfield we can go Rosario in left, Kepler in center, Gonzalez in right. Otherwise, you flip Gonzalez with Cave. So hopefully that makes sense, which means, of course, that you've got Crone, Gonzalez, Luis Arraez, Polanco, Sano. That's 5 positions for 4 infield spots. 1 of them is going to be on the bench. Now, I've told you that Crone or Gonzalez, both of them can play in the field. More than likely, I would like to think that Crone is not going to come back in time. I hope he just gets this week off and can heal and his thumb can get better. But I think he would be a great option for the bench because of the power bat that he possesses, and he can come off the bench and play in the field if we need Gonzalez to move out to right, and then Crone can come in and play first. There are options there, right? So That also leaves Jonathan Schoop. Now, I get, if there's a lefty pitcher, you want to put him in at second base. Luis Arraez maybe takes the day off. Maybe he goes to the outfield. There are, again, options, but that is, again, the third bench bat. So you've got Castro or Garver, then Cron and Schoop. That's 3. We've only got 12 players that we can fill. That means nobody can substitute in the outfield that we've pulled up for September. Now, again, I'm not 100% sure on how the September call-up things suggest, because obviously I'd want Buxton to be out there, but since he's done for the season and Adrian's has been done, can we pull guys from the September call-ups to be on the roster for the playoffs? I thought so, but maybe I'm wrong. And again, if you want to go with a 12-man rotation, it wouldn't matter so much for the position players. We just fill him with pitchers. But Wade Jr., also a guy who I think could be on the roster. He's very good at taking walks. He's developed a little bit of power, and he could take the spot of somebody like Cave. I don't think they would do that, but he could just take the spot of Cave because he's a little faster. He's, got a good glove. He can hit for a little bit of power. It's coming alive. He can take some walks. Now, he's a very similar player to Cave. I don't think they would do that, especially if they can't because of September call-ups, but there's not a lot of options out in the outfield. Ian Miller's not going to make it. Lamar's not going to make it. And probably Wade's not going to make it, which leaves Rosario, Kepler, and Cave. But we do have the options with Gonzalez and Arraez to go out there as well if you want to fill in Schoop and Cron. So there are, again, options, which is good for us. But then that's it for the bench. And Nelson Cruz is, of course, going to play in the DH spot. So there you go. I mean, that is pretty much it. Cruz is 1, Rosario, Kepler, Cave 4, then Schoop, Sano, Polanco, Gonzalez, Cron, and Arraez. That's 10. And then the 2 catchers, 11 and 12. That's it. There you go. There's your position players. So now we have the problem of where are we going to put them. I mean, there are, again, a lot of options here, and I think the Twins have been kind of experimenting with it. This is my ideal roster that I'm going to put together and the places where I want them to bat. Let's just put it that way. Now, I'm a big fan of Luis Arraez batting leadoff. I really, really am. I love what he's doing. But is he the best option? Is he better than Kepler? Obviously, you guys are split on the scenario. I would put Luis Arraez number 1. And that's just me. I really want to put Kepler number 2, but then you go lefty-lefty. I don't think they would do that, so I'm going to go Arraez number 1, Polanco 2. I really don't like Polanco in the 2 spot, but that's just me. I would rather have him bat like 6, but I don't think they're ever going to do that. So Luis Arraez 1, Polanco 2, Cruz is obviously batting 3. Rosario's going to bat 4 because then you've got lefty-righty, lefty. Sano's going to bat 5, or he should. Lefty-righty, lefty-righty. And then it's a free-for-all. It really is because you've got a powerful catcher. You've got a really good, center fielder in Kepler. You've got Gonzalez who can play both sides of the plate. Cave has been all right. Where do you put the guys from here on out? 6, I got to put Gonzalez in there. I think he is really, really good. But I can see them putting Cave in there, even against a righty, just because of how good Luis Arraez is. So I would put Kepler in the 6th spot against the righty, Gonzalez in there against the lefty, and then you flip them. So Gonzalez would be in the 7th spot against a lefty or righty, and then Kepler, you know what I'm saying, flip them. Kepler and Gonzalez will be 6 and 7. And then you go Garver at the 8th spot, I guess. I don't really know because, again, it's a powerful catcher. But you can't put him anywhere else. It's a really tough problem to have. Castro, I think, if he is in there, he will bat 8, and Cave would bat 9. But then you really go lefty, 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 which isn't good. So they might move Kepler in the 6th spot, and then put Cave in the 7th spot, or Castro in the 7th spot, Gonzalez in the 8th. Do you move him that far down? This is where it really gets tough. It really gets tough at this point. I'll go through it one more time, though, just in case you're confused. I will say Luis Arraez gets the leadoff spot. Polanco batting 2, then Cruz batting 3, Rosario batting 4, Sano batting 5. All right, I think that's pretty set in stone, or at least that's how I'd like to see it. 6th spot, I'll give it to Kepler. 7th spot, I'll give it to Gonzalez. 8th spot, Garver. 9-spot cave. And again, it gets all messed up when you throw Castro in there, if you throw Crone in there, and Scope. Oh, it's a mess. But it is going to be a fun postseason. So I gave you the lineup once again. Garver is a starting catcher. Gonzalez at first. Arise second, Polanco short, Sano third. Then you've got Gonzalez in right, Kepler in center, Rosario in left, Cruz is the DH. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense. I think it's very structured. I think it's very balanced. I think it's going to win us some playoff games. We've just got to hit the ball off the good pitchers and let the bullpen work, right? Because that's going to be the next video. So I'll go through the 13 pitchers or so that I believe should make the roster, especially if we go with some bullpen games, because that's a lot of what people are talking about. So stick around for that. That'll be part 2 of this video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Let me know what you guys think about who's going to play, where they're going to play, and the lineup. I would love to see it. Please let me know. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace out.